Welcome to Adult Landis. Here I am along with.
Lord blood-rah of Lord blood-rah's nerve-wracking theater.
This guy is everywhere. I mean, he is everywhere, traveling everywhere. But today we are lucky here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at Stoners to get him today. He's also got a movie premiere just as well. What's all going on? Why are you here in Fort Wayne?
Yes,
I mean, it's not a bad thing, but why are you here in Fort Wayne?
Well, other than to visit my friends at Stoner's Fun Store, which is an amazing magic, costume, and Halloween store. I love this place. I always do a meet and greet here before I do a live show. People come out, I get a chance to say hi, meet the fans of my show, which, by the way, to back up, I should mention, airs on My TV Fort Wayne Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. I host the best, worst, and wildest horror and science fiction films ever made. And I come out to Fort Wayne once a year to do a live show as part of the Hobnobbin Film Festival. And tonight we're doing, it's kind of a double feature. It's some hand-picked horror and Halloween short films that I've curated from the internet and various places. And then we're going to be showing the Bela Lugosi classic White Zombie. It's the first zombie film ever made, and it's an incredible film. Bela Lugosi's best performance, I think.
So what made you decide, because a lot of people are into the horror films, and especially the classic ones, because nowadays you can get your classic films. What made you decide, because I know you're very charismatic and you love TV and you're everywhere all around the world. What made you decide this is something I want to do?
I grew up loving horror and science fiction films. I grew up watching a show called Creature Features in the Bay Area. It's in San Francisco Bay Area, it's where I'm from. And it introduced me to all of those classic films, to the Universal films, the Godzilla films, 1950s sci-fi and things like that. And I just always loved the films. Never thought I'd be a horror host until a friend of ours who owns a winery in California wanted to present Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is a film that I love. I turned him on to it, and he just fell in love with it. And I said, well, you can't just show the movie, because they do events at the winery. I said, you can't just show the movie. You need a host to do it. And we got a host, and the show came off, but it didn't quite work right. And the next day, he was over at my place, and he and my wife and I were sitting around having a glass of wine. And he said, I want to do this as a yearly event, but I don't want to use that other host that we had before. And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know anyone else could do it. My wife turned around to me and said, why don't you do it? And that was 10 years ago. And somewhere in the distance, lightning struck and a wolf howled and Lord blood-rah was born. I just came up with the look, the character. And I've been doing this for 10 years now. Yeah. And I love it. I love these films most of all. And I love sharing horror and science fiction films with people who have a passion for them as well.
That's a good thing, because again, like I said, you got a big following. People's follow. You're all over the world. What made you decide? Because sometimes you start with local, and what made you decide let's make this bigger? Because sometimes it takes an empire to build something.
Well, thanks to the internet, anybody in a local market can instantly become worldwide. You just got to hit the internet market hard, really. As far as being on TV, I was incredibly lucky to have a very good friend of mine, Brian Wolford, in Peoria, Illinois, work for a TV station. And he had a podcast for a while called Drunken Zombie, which was horror reviews and talking about horror films and things. And I contributed some sound bites and bumpers and things like that to it. And even before I started hosting horror films. And he said, well, the horror host that we have retired. You stop making shows. Send us an episode of your show. And I said, yeah, okay, I did it. So I did it, never thinking, Later on that afternoon, he said, you're on midnight Saturday night. Wow. Wow. So I started thinking I better get serious about this. So luckily, I'm still on in Peoria, Illinois, and Fort Wayne picked me up on the strength of being on in Peoria, and it's just kind of snowballed like that. I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing. If you told me 12 years ago I'd be doing this, I would say you were crazy. I would not have believed it, but I love doing this.
Yeah, life works a different way, especially in entertainment. Especially if you have a passion and drive for it, it just hits you. It's like, oh wow, I could do this.
Pursue what you really love doing, and yeah, it sounds hokey and cliche, but doors open. Doors do open for you if you have that passion and drive for it. If you're driven to do something, you're going to find ways to succeed in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the big thing, and I love doing this.
I mean, right here we got a haunted hotel, Mr. G Graves.
Yes.
We was just
Great
about
show.
him earlier. Yeah.
Great show.
You inspire people to do this. How does that make you feel when people say, "Hey, you inspire me to do this"?
Oh, I love it. I love it because I was inspired by hosts like Bob Wilkins, who I grew up watching, John Stanley, who I'm now a good friend of, which amazes me. John Stanley took over from Bob Wilkins for Creature Features. Love the guy, and we're good friends. Mr. Lobo of Cinema Insomnia is a big inspiration because he too started out locally and now's gone. Now has his own Roku TV station and. I love hearing that, and I love exposing kids to these films. It feels like I'll have a lot of parents come up and say, "Thank you for presenting these films in a family-friendly way," which I do, which I think most classic horror hosts were family-friendly, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that because it's raising the next generation of horror and science fiction fans, and hopefully horror hosts.
Okay, you do a good job. I've seen your show a lot. And I'm like,
Thank
wow,
you so much.
I see you push and promote on social media. That's how I actually met him, with social media.
That's right.
Facebook works in lots of good ways for sure.
Yes.
Now today you're here at the meet and greet. Now what do you have going on here at the meet and greet? What all do you have for people to feel like, ooh, I want to see this or I want that?
Well, I'm here to meet people and talk to the fans and things. I've got DVDs of my TV series, T-shirts, pictures, buttons, pins, patches. Just various merchandise. These are 3 packs of episodes on various themes: zombies, Christopher Lee, vampires, Starman. There you go. Yeah, there's Vincent Price. How can you go wrong with Vincent Price?
That's true. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
So you're here at Stoners. What time are you here at Stoners for your meet and greet? Because you got fans that's anxious to see you. They want to see you now.
I'm here set up now, but
of course. What
officially it's 1 to 4 p.m. And then tonight, the Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wracking Theater Live is at the Cinema Center at 10:30 p.m.
Okay. Anything you say anybody out there that's watching today? Come on out or anything, promote your show?
Please come on out. Come out and say hi. Come to the live show tonight. It's going to be great. If you've never seen White Zombie on a big screen, you've got to. It's an incredible film, and as I say, Bela Lugosi's best performance. And you're probably going to see some horror short films that you've never seen before. So come on out tonight to Cinema Center 10:30. Come on out today 1 to 4 p.m. to Stoners and come say hi. Hope to see you.
One more question before I go. Say for instance, if I wanted to book you on a TV show, like do an interview, which I'm doing now, how could I do that?
Oh, you can contact me through lordbloodrah.com. That's LORDBLOODRAH. There's no hyphen in there. .com. Contact me there. And write me and we'll work something out.
Hey, this guy's a class act. He didn't know me from anybody. So, like I say, he's a class act. He willing to work with you.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys later.